Those glistening thighs, those thick-ass biceps, and that devilish smile. Of course, we're talking about the one and only Master Chief. Hola friends, and welcome to the Halo Foundry. Today we'll be reviewing the 2014 Master Chief Deluxe 18-inch action figure by Neca. I am but a feeble worm, and you, sir, are a magnificent stallion. This is such a big boy that I needed to move my camera all the way back, and I can't squeeze his sexy muscles from here. But I do get to touch him with my eyes, and what a pleasure. Neca have always been amazing at beating Santa's elves to death in terms of quality, and killed it with this figure. It is stunning, it is breathtaking, my god. This beast of a figure is designed on Chief from Halo 4, which also matches his design from Halo 5. Whoa. We can all argue later which Chief has the best design, but for now you have to admit that this thing is amazing. Making this figure 18 inches allows Neca to pack in every single detail from his in-game model, and I have looked all over this thing, some places more than others, and can't see a single detail missing. The corners of his armour are sharp, and the panels are deep, and the hex pattern on his tech suit helps define itself from the armour. Again, this shows the craftsmanship involved. The moulds that they use are on point and capture Chief's likeness perfectly. The plastic used on this guy is thick, making the figure feel really premium, and it has an incredible weight to it. I mean, you could sink someone to the bottom of the ocean with this thing. If someone breaks into my house, forget a baseball bat, I'm bringing this. He weighs as much as a fat baby, and God be damned if I'm not going to tuck this sucker in at night and kiss him on the forehead. And to finish this guy off, he has an okay paint job. All over we've got his not so classic olive green, with darker green applied to parts of the detail on his armour. Some silver is applied here and there, and his tech suit is painted in black. All over his armour is a silver dry brush, and in my opinion, a little bit more care could have been taken to make it look better, as it comes across a little slapdash in some areas, especially on the thighs. And taking a closer look at that face that every mother loves, damn boy, this is one pretty helmet. This helmet is so eye-catching and full of detail, it's like an overflowing fruit bowl. Again, in some areas the silver is a little rough, like on these circles on the side of the helmet, but overall look tasty. One ugly side of the figure has to be its joints. Making this thing so large will always bring attention to the joints if they're not hidden carefully, and sadly they weren't on this one. His joints are extremely visible all over, which can be excused, joints be joints after all, but a soft plastic is used at the top of the thighs and around his bottom, which hide the ratchet joint within. However, it gives him this extremely childbearing hip look. I know that exposed ball or ratchet joints around the hips can look weird, but I'm not sure that this look was any better. On the topic of floppy plastics, it's used throughout this figure, which really helps with its posability. I mean, I don't think I'd better fit the assault rifle in this position if it was solid. Moving on to posability, his dainty little feet are on ball joints. His knees are on double hinges. Ratcheted thighs. Double ball at the waist. Ball at the arms. Double hinge on his arm knees, and swivelly wrists. And his head is on a ball, which doesn't have a massive amount of range before it gets stiff. Every time I move it, I fear something is going to snap, so I stop myself from pushing it further. There were a few reports that his waist swivel did snap with only some simple movement. But on a flat surface, you can easily stand him up, especially in this basic pose I've got him in. But caution to the winds, sailor. Most of his weight is near the top, so he does easily wobble. So I personally leave him leaning against the wall for safety. I mean, I do have cats after all. There are pictures online of him in more adventurous poses than the plank I have before us. So if you have this or manage to find it, go nuts. Now this guy does come with a few accessories. He has his trusty assault rifle and magnum. Both of these feel extremely cheap when comparing it to Chief himself. They're both so light and hollow, and a hideous scene which runs around where they just snap the two pieces together. The paint job on them is nice though, if not a little simple, but they've got a lot of detail on them to pass the test and not to feel weird with the highly detailed chief holding them. But the assault rifle does not have its ammo counter, not even a stupid sticker. But you also receive another right hand, which is a fist, and a shooty left hand. But if you're like me, you can't use his left hand at all, as Chief doesn't dual wield in Halo 4, or he doesn't use his left hand to hold guns. I know it's weird, but I have to pose my figures with in-game rules. Don't judge me. He also comes with 3 of these little pins. The Magnum has a hole in it, so you can attach it like so. And the assault rifle has 2 to attach it to his back. My issue with these pins is that they're just a little too long. It looks like his pistol is hovering by his side. It would have been nice if they bumped up the quality just a little bit and used magnets instead. Now please don't imagine how cool that would look though. Your mind couldn't take such awesomeness. But no, this isn't the biggest Master Chief you can buy. It's not the most detailed. The design of his armour is subject to opinion, but it is one of the best representations out there. Neca, you've won yourself the Halo Foundry stamp of approval. It would have been great to see the whole line of Chiefs in this scale, but sadly Neca no longer have the license, so that is just a wild dream that keeps me up at night. In my opinion, 343 did a great job of his design. It's not many people's Chief, but it's Chief nonetheless. And his knees look like bionicle masks, which I love. For collector's purposes, I would highly recommend that you purchase this figure, though it is very hard to find nowadays. Although this does say action figure on the box, I couldn't recommend it to children. It's far too heavy and the points are far too tight to have any fun, trust me. And especially as it's the only figure that they made in this scale. I mean, who's Chief fighting? Damn, I so want that entire Neca 18-inch figure line. Oh, and here's the box. Anyway, that brings us to an end of our epic journey. We learned so much about each other in our time. If you enjoyed this review, then pop downstairs and give this video a like and leave a comment letting me know how awesome I am. Oh, and whilst you're there, click that subscribe button so I can watch you in your sleep and slap you across the face with more weekly Halo gear videos. See you tonight.